All right, Brian, I've actually run this through to show you a couple of the trapdoor type things that you can actually do in order to keep um, too many people from actually going through a door. The one that is actually in that world that I showed you that's inside the turtle tutorial area is a little bit special in that it has kind of a complicated setup. As you can see across this particular one, it actually uses two pistons. They're actually sticky pistons. There's actually a regular piston and a sticky piston, which a couple of these here will actually show you the difference on how they actually react. This setup here actually has one, as you can see right there in the middle of the screen, is actually mounted upside down, and the sticky piston is actually activated at this particular time because of this red torch right here. If in fact you remove that torch, excuse me, then it will actually cause the piston to take this redstone block, move it up, which actuates the other piston, which here will actually shove this block up into place. Now, if you're just going through the game, you're not going to grab this or break this or anything like that, because where it's at in the game, the students are actually ill-equipped to break this particular thing. The way it's set up in the game is that once you pass through the door, you're going to end up hitting a pressure plate, which activates this redstone. When the redstone actually hits it here, it will push this one up, and of course then actually shuts the door behind it. Demonstration of it here is I'm in build mode right now, so I have to come out of build mode in order to actually activate it. But as you can see, I'm walking through the door here, and click, the door actually shuts behind me. And see, I can walk back out, except the only thing is that the door actuates, as you can see, but there's now a block. That block that was attached to the upright sticky piston is now blocking my way. This one I think is a little bit overcomplicated, although it shows you some of the things that can actually be done. If I go back into build mode and fly back across the front here, you'll see what actually happened. There's where the redstone has actually been pulled up and actuates the sticky piston. Had we not actually done this, this redstone, all right, now actually powers this. The piston actually will run a cycle based off of the power that's in it. All right, the initial burst, all right, through here, all right, from sitting on that and moving it out of the way, as you can see, all of the stuff actually then comes together. Another one, which is also in the game and is rather simplistic, all right, as you can see here, there doesn't seem to be much of anything around it, all right, and under further examination, all right, we're using a regular piston with redstone, and above the redstone here in this particular location is a pressure plate, so that if we were to walk into it, all right, and this is what I like because it's really simple to build, doesn't take a lot of time. Come back in out of build mode and step across, and as you can see, it's actually moved it. Now, what makes this different than the other ones, all right, is that using a regular piston, when a regular piston pushes a block into place, that block stays in that new location. A sticky piston will actually grab the block and move it back down, which, depending on what you want to do, you could use it. If you use a sticky piston in here, it just moves the block up and down. It doesn't really do anything for you. But you can see if I move across that pressure plate again, it doesn't change the fact that that block is still blocking your location. Now, if I'm to go across and go back into build mode and fly back over, a third one, all right, and this third one actually has a bunch of different uses because of how you can set it up. Go back into build mode, oh, excuse me, back into build mode, and as you can see, this one actually has a command block on it. Now the command block has a a code written into it that's telling it to do a particular command. And under this one, as you can see here, it's called set block. Now the set block will put it in a specific location. If you know exactly the location you want, it will put one block there. Now you could write several of these, and you could do several command blocks in a row to do all kinds of things. This one here goes with the X, the Y, and the Z coordinates, just like the ones that you can find that are over here in the readout when you hit F3. This last one here is the particular block that I'm asking for it to actually set. All right. When students are in here, they could access this code, but they can't change the code. Only the teacher could actually do so. So in this, if I were to walk across it, all right, it sets it, and boom. As you can see here, this one I've actually told it to put a piece of bedrock in. So even if they did have mining tools, you could use something like this to actually stop them from even using their mining tools to get out. There's other ones, like this one down here I'm actually working on will actually completely block this one off. Loads of different things you can do, but if you're doing a whole bunch of them, I'd have to say that this one down here with the simple push piston, non-sticky piston, is a really good one to go with, because that's what it takes to actually reset it. You see, if I walk over it, boom, pops it right back up. And as long as the kids are not in a build mode situation, they won't be able to destroy that block. You could even actually make it one of those red X boxes that they can't actually destroy either. Or line those underneath. Lots of different options, but I think this one's the easiest because there's very few things that are in it that require movement. So this would be my favorite one to go with.